Hello there. We're still at the fourth season in Love Affairs, in which we are discussing relationships. And today's video is based on not a personal experience that I have lived, that I have been through, but that I have witnessed. And the reason why I wanted to do this video, deviating a little bit from the general topics that I normally cover in this season, is because I want you to think of it. I want you to meditate on this that I'm gonna tell you, and consider if this is the kind of thing you want for your life. I said before, and I'm going to repeat it, the question that is going to be behind everything that we're going to discuss in this season is: what kind of person do you want to date? Or once you have found the person and seen the characteristics, do you want to date this person, this kind of person? Let's suppose you meet someone, okay? Regardless, you can be a man or a woman, and you meet someone and you go on a date with this person. And attention with what I'm gonna say, because I don't want you to mix up things. And this person starts in this date. Now you have an opportunity to have a conversation, because you always want to have an opportunity to have a conversation in your first dates. You don't want to go on dates where you are silent and you cannot interact with the person and learn about the person. This person starts bragging about him or herself. I have achieved this. I've accomplished this. I have this. I have that. I am in this high position. I have this amount of money. I make this amount of money. I have these titles. I have these properties. I have this income, or whatever. They are trying to show you that they are something, that they have accomplished something. The obvious thing here is you don't want to be dating someone who behaves like that. That is the obvious thing. But let's try to understand a little bit the psychology behind that. If you meet someone like this and the person is behaving like this, one thing I can tell you almost for sure is this person has insecurity issues. This person is not sure of him or herself. Other people out there, they will tell you that this person is bragging because this person is not that or doesn't have that. If the person is bragging about having money, they don't. If the person is bragging about being good in bed, they aren't. If the person is bragging about having a high position in a job, they don't have, or whatever it is. I don't agree with that, because I have seen people that they were what they are bragging about. They had what they said they had, and they were not lying. But all of them had the problem that I just mentioned to you. They had insecurity problems. They needed validation. They needed people to like them, to adore them, to worship them, to believe that they were special, and so on. They needed to feel special to other people. They needed to feel that they had some value, that people admired them. They needed other people to validate them so that they could feel useful, important, or whatever that is. And if you meet someone with these characteristics, again, regardless of the fact that the person might have all that the person is bragging about or not, you don't want to date someone like this, because someone like this is going to consume your energy, is going to be always demanding, and probably is not going to offer anything back. And whenever this person is going to offer something back, it's going to be in a transactional way. They are not going to do something for you because they like you, because they are deep into the relationship, they are compromised with you. They will offer something back because they will be like, I owe this person something because this person did something to me. Or I'm going to offer lots of things to this person so that this person is in debt with me. This person will owe me things, will have to return to me what I'm doing for him or for her. And of course you want to be away from this. Of course you don't want to date people like this. Of course you want to go if your mental state is stable and if your life is figured out and you got your stuff together, you don't want to go into relationships like this. You don't want to deal with these kind of people. Now let's go to the example where the person doesn't have, isn't all that the person is bragging about. This person also has insecurity issues, but there is another issue here that is even more important than the insecurity issues. If the person doesn't have what the person says he or she has, if the person is not what the person says he or she is, this person is also a liar. And a liar can lie on small things, on medium things, and on big things, on very important things. A liar is not going to lie only on this or that. They might be able to lie in anything, in any kind of situation, in any kind of topic. It doesn't matter how little or big that is, how irrelevant or important that is. And as soon as you find that out, as soon as you smell that there is some lie in there, you also want to get away, because it's the kind of person that you never know what to expect. Because if the person is able to lie, anything that this person might say can be a lie, and you will never know who you are dating. You will never know what kind of person you have around you. Having seen these two types of people, the people that brag about something that it is correct, it is true, and the people that brag about something that it isn't correct, it isn't true, it is a lie, let's go to analyze ourselves. Let's go to see what we should be doing on a date. You go on a date with someone, and of course you are interested in the person. That's why you went on a date. At least that's what I'm hoping here. And of course you want the person to like you and to be interested in you. And then you ask me, well, in order to be attractive to this person, in order to have this person to be interested in me, I have to show this person that I have some value, right? No, not in my opinion, at least not in my experience. In my experience, if you have money, you have to pretend as much as you can that you don't. You're not gonna lie. You're not going to tell things that are not correct, but you're going to try to avoid as much as you can to say something that reveals your financial status, your financial position in life. If you go on a date and the person starts inquiring too much about your job, about how much money you make, about what you have in terms of properties and possessions and so on, you don't want to date this kind of person. You want to stay away from this kind of people, and you want to run in case this person insists on going out with you. You want to escape from this kind of people. When you go on a date with a healthy person with at least two brain cells that are active and who is minimally decent, the person is interested in you. The person wants to know more about you, like where you're coming from, what have you done in life, what are your preferences, what are your hobbies, your passions. They want to know more about you, how you see life, what are your goals, what do you want from a relationship, and so on. So if the person starts as a job interview asking you about possessions, properties, money, financial situation, and so on, forget it. In case the person doesn't ask you these kind of questions, you want to try to reveal as little as possible about it. You got money, don't say. Play the poor role. Let's go to regular places, average places, maybe cheap places. Let's not spend a lot of money. Let's not go on fancy dates and so on. Because unfortunately, in the world we are living in, money attracts a lot of interest. And if you show this kind of situation, your financial situation, you don't know if the person is going to be interested in you or in your credit card and in your bank account. Oh, but I don't want to brag about it. I want to brag about having a PhD, 2 degrees, speaking 9 languages, and having traveled over 120 countries. Don't. Have a normal conversation. Talk to the person and try to get to know the person. And if certain topics pop in, talk as normal, as mannered, and as controlled as you can about your opinions, about your experiences, about who you are, and so on. I'm the kind of person that I talk a lot about myself and I talk a lot in general. Is that a big problem if I go on a date? It is not a big problem, but you have to understand that there has to be a space that you give to the other person to talk about herself. There has to be a space in which you show interest in the person and you want to know about the person. And then you tell me, because I've been through this and I can tell you by experience. Oh, but I dated the person and the person found me so interesting that the person was filling me with questions. The person was admiring my lifestyle, was impressed by the conversation that I was offering. And I basically spoke about myself the whole time because the person filled me with questions. So the person didn't have the opportunity to talk about herself. Is that good? No. It isn't. If the person shows admiration for you and starts filling you with questions, you have to find a way to cut it short, respond, but at the same time, throwing the ball to the other person, throwing the next move to the other person. Ask about the other person's life, ask about the other person's goals, dreams, desires, fantasies, what the person is up to, what are the next stages in the person's life, short, medium, and long term plans. Try to always bring it back to the other person so that you balance the conversation, so that the conversation goes both ways, so to say. It is tempting if you like to talk about yourself or if the person shows admiration and starts asking you questions non-stop, that you just speak non-stop about yourself. And maybe the person will even enjoy that conversation because the person will know a lot about yourself. But you also need to know something about the other person. You also need to find out things about the other person, because otherwise you go on a date, the person wants to date you again because the person found you an amazing person, an amazing human being, but you know nothing about her, about him. Do you want to date him, her again? You don't know because you haven't discovered anything about the other person. And you need to do that. You need to find out something about the other person so that you can think, I want to meet her again, him again. I want to continue dating him, her, and so on. So pay attention when you go on a date with how much information you display and how much you speak of yourself or you tell stories or anything, no matter how interesting they are and no matter how interested the person might be looking. Think of it. See you on the next one.